Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Sean Higgs coming at you. It's Thursday, February the 13th. Welcome on into the show. We're going to give out some Valentine's Day love for you here a little day early in the NBA. As always, Chip Chirimbes, Doug Upstone join me for some NBA free pick action. We did go 1-2 on Monday with our free picks. Again, listen, we got to get on track. After 25 and 27, we must do better. And it makes zero sense. Listen, we're going to get to, again, the free picks are the free picks. We try to win them all. Like, subscribe, notification while on here. So, we do our NBA, our college hoops, baseball soon enough. I don't know. College baseball, who's getting Stetson on the money line tomorrow plus 120? I don't know. Maybe this guy. I'm just throwing it out there. I got that from my college baseball guy said to take Stetson tomorrow. We'll see what happens. So write it down. I wrote it down. I put $100 out. I figured, I'll give this guy a shot. Let's see if he knows anything. Take Stetson versus college baseball. Don't expect to see me putting college baseball up on the site. That's not happening. It's a rare one-off for me here because I was being harassed. But listen, hit the like, subscribe, notification bells on. We're going to bring you some free pick winners today. As always, gamblersworld.net for all of our best bets and premium plays. Right? 3 730 packages guaranteed. Show you a profit or we credit you back. You get on board somebody else. You see the leaderboards, how everybody is doing. Win or lose, no hiding from the record. I say it all the time. They are our best bets. They're not just games I send down on a Sunday afternoon that we talk about. These are games we're putting our money where our mouth is. Let's go get it. And that's why we see a little differential here. Yes, the free picks are 25 and 27. Premium-wise, Chip's got flaming basketballs behind them. That's what you get when you're number one in the NBA for the season here, okay? It's just different. The best plays, you got to dig in the pocket a little bit. Why not get a nice day pass on a day like today? Chip has NBA and college hoops up, $69.99. Doug, I see he's got a little OVC, Ohio Valley game of the week, 3 total packages. Again, a day pass is going to save you the money. For me, a 3-pack of college hoops. I don't know. I mean, I'm doing all right. We are 23-18 with free picks college basketball. Premium-wise, I'm doing pretty well in college basketball. Number one in the money for the season. There is that. Unfortunately for Doug, Ice is on hiatus where he's crushing at like a 63%. So, I don't know, but there's other sports he's doing well in. Again, big game of the week for Doug going today. So we'll start with the big game of the week, guy. Doug, what do you got going on? How was your last couple days since we've chatted on Monday? And what do you got on store for the people tonight?
Well, I would want to say that if it wasn't, I should say, for overtime, you would be saying we went 2-1 on Monday because I had the game that I had Monday, 116. The total was 237, easy under, but no overtime, baby. Gotta love it. So yes, I'm still used to it. I'm almost numb to it at this point. Okay, to be perfectly honest. But anyways, so yes, I did hit my ACC game of the month.
3 seconds left. They hit a shot to force overtime. By the way,
yeah,
3 seconds.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah, I had another one similar to that this week too. Anyway, so hit my ACC game of the month with SMU, who won by 20 and covered the spread by 14.5 points. I think that was Tuesday night, as I recall. So that was good. Otherwise, college basketball just kind of hanging in there. Nothing spectacular. But twice a week I see Chip Chirimbes and I see the bullseye right there. So that's what I got to get. So I'm off to an 8-2 run. Okay. Now I'm not saying I'm as good as Chip. Okay, because he's got the whole season
better right now.
Great. But right now, okay, at this moment, now I'm not saying I'm better. I'm just saying right now I'm in a nice little run here on the in the NBA at 8-2, and every day I have a little tear that comes down my eye, knowing that there's no hockey. So that's what can you do about it?
I kind of like when they take a little hiatus. So we need a little break every once in a while.
No, I'm all for that.
So we get a nice all-star break. There's no basketball till I think Wednesday for the NBA. I mean, we got that one-off wildfire game. Then they got to make up. But otherwise, it's a full break, which is nice. And hockey's not there, so it's a little less to do. It feels good sometimes, right? Because
it's
been get right back into it.
Late August, so yes.
Yeah. Chip, how are you? I mean, you're upset. You're not doing good. I'm seeing 34 and 24 last 30 days.
I got whacked this weekend on the NBA, but college is starting to pick up right now. We had a big winner last night, and I like tonight's game, and I like the card, and I feel kind of a little. I need the break. I tell you, for the NBA, I think we all may need it, but really looking forward to the college remaining schedule right now, because these teams have already been through the conference once, and they're coming and repeating playing games, and some have revenge, and some have no chance. But it gives us a little measuring stick and a little bit bigger resume to evaluate.
Yeah, Kyle, I mean, for me, I don't mind the NBA. I'm 15 and 13 in the NBA, not running there, but again, college basketball. 263 and 200. I don't know. I put a couple games out. Put a couple games out in college basketball. So doing
That's
all right.
a lot of opinion, Sean, and I'm amazed that you can hold that percentage with that many releases. Honestly.
And I was talking to somebody who's in the business with us, and we know the guy, and he's like, man, I can't believe you still put out like 5 games a day. He's like, I'd be doing one just to secure the number 1 slot through the year and be like, number 1 college. I'm like, I said, I'm already like holding back because there's a lot of games. I haven't done it all year, so I don't want to put out 15 games if I haven't been putting out. I can go to 5 to 9 to 10. I can get up there. Other days there's 1 or 2, but
Sean, do you do so much work that you're on into every single college conference? I mean, no matter who they are, or it could be Prairie View, and would you have an opinion on it?
Yeah. I was like the other day, some of these ugly teams I had. Where we got some ugliness here. What was it Monday?
Now, how do you garner your information on them, Sean?
Lamar, Southeast Louisiana, and Maryland Eastern Shore, and I had Lafayette over American. I went 3-1. Was that Monday with those?
Do you know the players?
The only player I know in college basketball is Cooper Flagg. I don't know one other player.
I guess he's pretty good. He's worth knowing, I think.
I don't know anybody.
Wow.
But that's not what I'm looking at. Yeah. That's not how I break them down.
No, see, I look at numbers and teams. Individuals,
exactly.
I don't pay attention to.
It's all about the power rating, and the system I've used for like, I don't know, it's 2025, so like 13, 14 years. But it changes a lot because as long as you talk about like the out of conference kind of wacky schools, 10 years ago, these guys weren't even listed. You'd see, the Atlantic Sun would be listed just for. You'd see a couple games sprinkled for a lot of these.
Mississippi Valley State. You have Jerry Rice coming out of there, and you never saw a line on that team.
No, you'd have these teams, even like the Big West and Big Sky. They wouldn't be really listed until February because the conference tournaments are coming. Yeah. So I have to like induce these guys into power ratings where they weren't there years ago, and. Like, I mean, who's running power ratings on these guys?
Do you make your own power ratings, or are you evaluating other people's power ratings?
I mean, for the smaller ones, I'm going to Bartovic and Haslam and Kempom for the SWAC and the Southland and these things. Because I'm not. Listen, there's only so much time in the day, right? We could all compare.
How much?
I'm not going to.
How can he do it, Doug? How can he do it? I mean, come on.
No, you can't do it. I'm not. Listen, I'll pay the guy $25 a year where he's going to have all the efficiencies and all the stats I need to kind of come out of, right?
Right.
And that's all the fancy nerd talk. We got the DVOA and NFL, and look at the velocity and the spin rate on this guy's when he swings in the ball. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, no, but. For your synergy, your pace, and shooting prowess, why? I mean, right? We want to work easier, not harder, right? I mean, if there's sites out there that have all the information and stats that you need, I don't have to go do the work for that. That's all out there to gather, and then I can take my own number and go, okay, well, I think it's X, Y, Z. But the out of whack conferences, it's really for me is I see where they're ranked, where people have them ranked overall, right. And then I just go from there and be like, is a team that's ranked 255 that much worse than a team ranked 232 or 302, and they're getting X amount of points in it where they just play all the time? Again, these teams all really poor free throw shooting teams, and that's what I really look at. Like, and then it's again, can I put out a bunch of these games on these wacky conferences? Monday to Friday last week, because I just started doing these last week. I'm like, let me jump into these wacky conferences, keep track of them. It's February, 23 and 16. And that's from getting like
that's not bad at all.
4. that's from like a 4 plus 4 to whatever, plus 16, however they kind of grow up. But inside of those numbers is my real number is I want 6 or 6.5, somewhere up. So then I start drawing a line. Is Quinnipiac too good? Because I think Quinnipiac's a good team, and they're like a top 50 kind of KenPom team, believe it or not.
I played baseball.
So do I want to lay 6? Like the other night, they were laying 16. They won by 20. So that was a loser, But in spots where I think the team is too good, the dog is 6-2 in those games.
I think it's fascinating that you can spend so much time doing that. I mean, it's
I waste so much.
I mean, I'm concentrating on the major, the major conferences, and I don't have time to wind my watch. If there's one
the entire week, and for me, is doing these little small schools. On Saturday, the small schools, because I wrote them all down because I want to keep track, because I can't, again, 4 years ago for myself, I would be betting all these games. I would have been all over them, whatever, I'm doing it. They went 11-16, all those things on Saturday. So 21-13 Monday to Friday. Saturday, the world blows up and it goes 11-16. And then 11-16 turns into 32-29. So not as good.
Right.
So off of that span, and this week they're 4-3, and there's a few of them tonight. So we'll see how that pans out. But to me, it's like, well, last Saturday I went 4-6. So you know what? I'm not going to jump into Saturday. Like I said this earlier, I'm not doing 15 games on a Saturday. Forget it. I'll, if I'm doing 5, if I go 1-4, I can take a 1-4 day. I'll take a losing day. We all have losing days.
Oh.
I'm not going to just randomly jump into a 2-week trend that I'm keeping, not even a trend, but my numbers that I've done. I'm not going to just throw out 26 games and then go 1-0.
Okay.
Whereas I could easily, that could go 4-15, and then my whole bankroll is getting wiped out on days.
Yeah.
So it's more for me. I want to keep track to see how they are, and then I'll try to find the best of the best out of those. So I promise no rants, but we're talking about these smaller schools. I think there could be value in them. But on you see who they play in the beginning, right? These teams come into preseason or their conference play, they're winless, right? We joke about these teams. Look at it, they're 1-15 because every big school is 15-0 at home, right? Because you're just paying. Well, here's your $300,000. Come in here and take your whooping. All right. Well, now it's conference play, and you look at some of these teams, and they might be 4-14, but in conference play they're 4-0 or something because they took their beatings on the road, but against their own kind of kin. Then they start separating themselves, and that's where I think. I don't think I've won a little bit doing that. So so far, so good. Again.
So are you on Lemoyne tonight or not? Then
Lemoyne didn't fit the bill.
They didn't fit the bill. I had somebody pass that one along to me by email last night. So I just I like Chip. Those I just don't have the time. To really go over those, and so stick to. I go further than most, but I've actually changed quite a bit of even what I have done before because the 8 or 9 hours on a Friday night, those.
No, I said no more to that. No more. Nope.
Yeah.
I'll be if I leave winners out, right? Because everybody forgets the win. Like, oh, I like that game and I bet it. Please, for every one of those we have. Rest assured, you got 5 that were just surefire losers.
Yeah.
So I don't even. There's a couple I look at right away, and that's it. I'm just focused on them, and I just can't. I just there's so much on a Saturday. Why crush yourself for one day a week? One day to find what 3 to 6 games, maybe 8 games.
Yeah. So,
No, I think the risk versus reward is not worth it.
Now that I'm back in this world, is that I've gone back to what I used to do. Is I put out. Games until either 4 or 5 o'clock Eastern time, and then come back with another package for whatever's afterwards.
Yep.
So just I used to do
you got to
that.
work through it.
You guys work hard.
And that's how it would be. It'd be like, oh, they start 12. I'm going through. I'm like, all right, I'm taking this game. These games all fit. And next thing you know, you have 29 games. And you're like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah, and then that break helps too. I do the ones until 4 or 5 o'clock. I do those Friday night, and then I set it up for Saturday. And then, but once, get the NBA play out on Saturday, then, takes me about not even probably 40 minutes to go through the rest of them, the rest of the card on a Saturday. And then I post it up later, for whatever nighttime action.
I might add like 3 or 4 on Saturday just because I'm like, all right, the numbers are moving. I'll do it. I try not to though, because then I feel like I'm onto like, okay, I missed the number, or should I add something else to it, and then I don't know. That's
all right. Well, hey, I got before we get started here, I just for anybody that's interested in reading my article that I have about the NBA this week, two things of interest to these gentlemen and I think to everybody else. Two things I did not know is that the Charlotte Hornets are the number 1 under team in the NBA. Okay, so I thought that was pretty interesting. It's not something that I knew. And then the other, I did not look what they did yesterday to know this. But here's now this is a question I have for you two guys. Do either of you bet NBA second halves, or I know it used to be. Let's just say that there was a cottage industry of that before. I've asked around, and more people I talk to say no, they don't, and it's dropped off. And the answer was kind of what I thought it would be. Most people say they prefer to do either first halves or they're doing props. Okay, besides just normal game stuff.
Yeah.
And so second halves have kind of petered out. But the Charlotte Hornets are also, get this, 34-15 second half wagers.
So they come back.
Don't you think they're going to come back to the pack in totals? I mean, you said they had the major unders. Wouldn't you look for them to play over the second half?
I mean, like you said, to the point of the second half, potentially yes. You have to see what's what. But the second half's on sides. So 34-15 is on sides, not totals. So right. As I explained it in the article, the thing that seems to me, looking up what they're doing, is they don't score, but their defense is much improved this year, which of course leads to why their totals are why they're so good in totals. But it's a really interesting thing to think about, just that. I mean, your assumption is the Hornets, they stink, right? But from a betting standpoint, second half wagers, that's an impressive number.
The problem is you got to suck it up to a first half and watch these guys and be like, oh, I got to come in and get them in the second half.
It just
You watch these guys?
No. I watch little NBA here and there, but not much. Definitely watch a lot of college basketball.
Yeah.
Either all
it's a better game. It's more enjoyable.
Yes.
Yes. You think that'd be right up my alley, since I like Brian tonight getting 16, or rather NJIT getting 16 from Brian tonight. Like, that'd be right up my alley, taking a crappy Charlotte Hornet bunch,
Well, hey, just get that ESPN Plus app ready to go, baby, and then you're all set. You can watch that game.
Man, second half, that's like true degeneracy. I can't get into that. No, I can't. Well, listen, I had my 10-minute rant on off the beaten path college basketball conferences. Let's get into some NBA here with Mr. NBA himself, the Flaming Balls. I love it. So fitting for Chip Chirimbes here. Golden State and the Houston Rockets. Now, this is like a ball on fire, because this was a 2 last night and a 220.5, and you come in here game showtime and it's 6 and 218. I looked, I'm like, hold on a second, this is 6. This is the craziness with the NBA. All-Star break, everybody's on back-to-back spots, and here come the old-timers getting their canes out and rubbing Bengay on themselves. Like, I'm not playing here. I would have liked the Rockets before anyway. Young team, playing well overheads. You got Golden State, although they're not the vintage Golden State champions. It's still a name. I think the young guys will come in here and beat them. I liked it at 2. I'm still going to like it at 6, because I thought they'd win here by 10 anyway. But I'm going to our leader, our NBA guru here, Chip Chirimbes. Warriors +6 is worth it, or is maybe a total 218, or are you just taking the young Rockets to get it done?
All I can tell you is I am so looking forward to this break for the All-Star game. No, but I see this game huge. Jimmy Butler, Damon Green, and Stephon Curry are 2-0 together now. I mean, Jimmy Butler's been out there, right? I mean, I can't play against Houston here. They're 17-8 at home. Golden State is still a Midland team, 12-13. It's nice for them that they got Butler and he's going to play. But I expect him to go down in a couple of days with an injury of some sort, something nagging. And I don't see much future for Golden State. This isn't a game that I'm looking at. Like you said, look, overnight I saw 1.5 and 2, and I said, what's going on with this game? How could the Rockets be that? They should be where they are now, 5.5, 6. So I don't know what they were projecting at that time, but I would lay it before I'd take it.
Yeah, I mean, 1.5, 2. Like, we were all kind of dumbfounded. We're like 6. We're like, oh, what? You're kidding?
What was that about?
The Rockets for Chip Chirimbes official show pick. Houston -6. Again, this is a free pick, and listen, tread a little lightly. It goes from 1 to 6. It's All-Star break. We saw the Lakers go down as a big 10-point favorite last night. Not know what we're going to get, but you want Chip's best bet in the NBA tonight. Hello, it's up right now, gamblersworld.net. Doug Upstone, what do you think about this one here?
Yeah, I'm the first to admit the last game or the last games before the break and the first games after the break, I'm not a big fan. Okay, just in general, I have to really like something, and fortunately, I do. But it's not this game. Okay, I can tell you that. It just the numbers don't make any sense. It doesn't fit my way of thinking, and in terms of not making sense, I think between Chip and Sean, they probably think that a lot of me when I'm talking about not making sense with different stuff. So I'm going to go with props, okay, instead. I'm looking at the Rocket Center Shagun, and his number is 10.5 rebounds. In his last 7 games, he's only covered that number twice. And one of the times was last night where he had 13 rebounds against the Suns. And if you go back and look at his numbers, the last time that he covered the 10.5, 2 games in a row, it was the last 2 games of December. I'm going under for Shagun. I say his name. The center for the Houston Rockets. I'm going under 10.5 rebounds. Yeah, it's not that. I know that because I tried that before, and I forgot to go in and get the pronunciation before I came on the air. So I apologize for that. But it's nonetheless 10.5 for the center of the Houston Rockets.
Whatever. I'll butcher his name. I butcher names. I'm sorry. We're not perfect on these names. If the guy was Jones, we'd be wonderful. I mean, Chip Chirimbes, Upstone, would be the simple name. Sanguine. Sorry, Phil, if we got you wrong. You're getting your just due here under his rebounds. I kind of like, we're going to a prop game. I'm going to say the Jimmy Butler over assists. It's plus money at 5.5 assists for him, and he's had 4, 7, and 6 his last couple games. So someone's got to score. Why not him pass off? He's going to come in, get some quality time. That's where I'd look. But that's his prop here. Little bonus props for you there, folks. But we're going to go official pick here. The Rockets laying the 6. Houston -6 for Chip Chirimbes on the night. Now, Doug, OKC in Minnesota. Here we go. A 7.5 on the road. What are we doing here? I mean, this is Oklahoma again. Everybody's back-to-back. 32-8 last night. They're down 10 early or 12 early. They go from 12 to 11 to 10 going into the fourth quarter, and then 32-8. I don't know what they got in attack. Me, I would be looking to take Minnesota here. But this is your game. What are your thoughts on this one here? 7.5, 222.
Yeah, I mean, third game in 4 days for both teams, back to back. And Minnesota, another disappointing effort last night. Okay, at home playing Milwaukee without Giannis. Another poor shooting game, 37.9% from the field, 101 points against a crappy Bucks defense. You mentioned Oklahoma City. I mean, 32-8. I mean, 32-8 in the fourth quarter. That is just and you know what? And they came within a half point of covering the 14.5 on the closing line, down 10. So it was pretty funny. So we got the break coming up tomorrow. I'm not sure that either team is going to be particularly focused in this one. By the way, Minnesota opened up at 4.5. At least that's what Oklahoma City did. That's what I saw today. We opened at 4.5. Now it's 7.5. And I saw some 8s actually too, just a couple. These teams, the last 10 times they played, they've gone under 7 times. OKC is 18-9 under, playing on the road when playing 6 or more games in 10 days. there you go. My play is under 222 for the Thunder and the T-Wolves.
Under 222 official play. Doug Upstone here. As he said, I mean, it was a 4.5 here at DK, even offshore. I mean, at a 4.5, and now we're looking at 8s right now. Unbelievable. Be sure to get Doug's premium picks, OVC game of the month, NBA. You get a day pass, you get a single game over at gamblersworld.net, and check out his article, Shoot the Rock, NBA. And he's got the college basketball one as well here on Fridays that comes out. So more free content for you to enjoy, to devour while you watch the videos. If you can do two things at once, who knows? Some people can't multitask. I can, just a tad though, a little bit. My wife says I can't. I don't know. Things get done here, honey. The Heat and the Mavericks. Not a crazy move in this one, folks. It was 2. Now the Heat are 1. 221 here is the total. And as we mentioned, 8 points. It was the Miami Heat who scored the 8 points, blowing a nice big lead. What were they resting up to come in? We got to save ourselves for Dallas. 101 points last night, 85 before that, 86 before that, 108 points. I know they're not laying points here. I'm going to take the Mavericks, though. Like, at least the Mavericks, they're showing a little heart here, right? They had the trade, and then they went out and beat Houston and Boston. Some injuries didn't make a difference. Overtime win over Sacramento, another win. The fans are upset. The players could be upset. It's one of those spots like, what are we going to do here? I don't know. They're playing well. How am I going to back a team that just totally – what kind of collapse is that? I mean, Oklahoma City's good. 8 points, and I expect them to come out and be like, yeah, we're going to regroup before the – these guys will be like, it's a 2-hour flight to Cancun. I could be on a beach. What am I doing here in Dallas? By the way, it's supposed to snow up there, I think. They're supposed to get it's supposed to be like 10 degrees in a panhandle. Like, they were like, get me out of this mess. I don't want to be here. I'm taking the Mavericks. I'm going to take them 110 here, whatever they are on the money line, 105, even money. Dallas Mavericks for me here as my official show pick. Mavericks, we'll call money line. Let's just say even money. Plus one. It's 110, whatever it is. Mavericks for me. Chip Chirimbes, what do you think here?
Well, first I'd like to comment on the OKC Minnesota game. Trying to take Minnesota's a nightmare, and this Oklahoma City's 34-16. That's 68% against the number. They beat this team on New Year's Eve by 8 points as a 6.5-point favorite. They won 3 of the last 4. And if I had any standings whatsoever, Sean, I would have been posting the Minnesota Timberwolves, but I didn't. I passed on the game. So, but my show selection as an also ran would be to take the Timberwolves because they're just. That Milwaukee team was so depleted last night. Not only Lillard was out as well as the Greek Freak, and they still got beat. They didn't as an inflated favorite. They're just so disappointing. And if they don't have their 3 guard, Anthony Edwards is spectacular, but somehow they're not going to win.
30 and 25 on the year total. I mean, and they made the trade and they have not gelled at all, not one bit.
No, I'm surprised they made that trade to start the season, getting rid of Towns. I think they were going to lose him to free agency or something, and they were trying to get some value out of it. I don't know otherwise why they would do it. Now they have 3 guards, and they already had one that is as good as all 3 put together. So I don't know where they were going.
You and me both. I thought they were on a team on a rise. Maybe next year they'll be a team on a rise.
Sean, most people in the playoffs last year expected them to get to the finals. If you remember, they were the hot team betting wise coming down, and they're such a long way from there right now.
That was my team last year. I like them, and this year I'm on the Thunder. So we'll see.
Yeah, but you should be.
They're good. What about? I'm sorry I missed you on the
That's
come
all
around.
right. The Dallas-Miami game. Miami scored 8 points. 8 points in the fourth quarter. If you can't score more than 8 points, you're certainly in trouble. And that game, I think, stayed under. So I expect this game to go over. I'm going to play Dallas and Miami to go over the total. Somehow they're going to put the ball in the basket. Maybe they'll get fouled. But against the points this year, Miami hasn't been the best bet. They're 21-30 on the year, and they're without Butler now. Well, that craziness is gone down there in Miami, and then go back to getting a nice even tan.
Chip enjoying the under The over, excuse me, the 222 here. And why not? You score 8 points, you think you're going to come back and score. And I tend to agree with that spot there because most Maverick lines are usually in the 230 kind of range. But the way Miami's been the last few games, offense has not been their friend. They've been offensive, offensively.
Yeah.
Doug, what do you think?
Well, before I give my pick, I am curious enough to know, because today is February the 13th, what's going on in sports today. Does Mr. Chip have something for us?
Well, there were a couple of things that happened. It's this is a dead time of the year for the most part because it's for us it's football and baseball, at least for me, and we can come up with all this basketball. But in 1937 there was a team that moved from Boston to Washington in the NFL, and they were the Boston Redskins. And I never knew that the Redskins were ever in Boston. They had the Braves there too in baseball, but they moved to Griffith Stadium and shared it with the Senators. 1937. Sean, this is for you. Two Paisans went at it in 1952. World Heavyweight Championship. Rocky Marciano won his 40th straight. He beat Gino Bovanino. So there you go. That was on 1952. And
Gino Bovanino?
What was that?
What was the guy name? What was his last name?
His name
Bovanino?
was Gino Bovino, actually.
Bovino.
I mispronounced it, of course, but Doug, we get one of those every show, don't we? I mean, we got to do that. I mean, we got a license to do that. Now, there was a player named Frank Selby. I don't know if you guys knew this. He had a short career in the NBA, played for Furman, and there was a running back, Warren, that played for Seattle that was out of Furman. Scored 100 points in a college basketball game in the state, 1954, 149-92, as Furman beat Newberry. Newberry, of course, a national power. I think that's in the knitting group. And on this day in 1990, poor Larry Bird had his 71 consecutive game free throw made stopped. So he ended that streak at 71 games, and that was in 1990. There you have it. February 13th. And yesterday was Abe Lincoln's birthday. Now that they celebrate President's Day, I used to get 2 days off from school. I used to get Lincoln's birthday and Washington's birthday, and then they consolidate them. So I lost a day of school, and that pissed me off when I was teaching as well. I'll tell you that.
That and then and now besides you can go buy a mattress now on President's Day, so that makes it all the more fun. So you asked me about Dallas and Miami here. Sean, you pretty much covered most of my points. Dallas is a complete mess. The fans are angry. The ownership and management is making things worse since they got rid of Luka, kicking fans out of the game for saying the general manager should be fired, all this nonsense. And then, so what happens? The voice of reason comes into play. Jason Kidd. Are you kidding me? Jason Kidd is the voice of reason as the coach of Dallas. He's kept his mouth shut about trading Luka. He is unhappy. He's frustrated. His team is 3-2 in their last 5, all covers, by the way. And both of those losses were by a single point. The Mavericks have more substitutes than the Dallas school district right now playing. Okay, so I mean they just got so much just confusion it seemed, but yet they're winning. They're covering spreads. Miami last night. There's nothing much more to say about that. Colossal collapse. I'm with you, Sean. I think the Dallas Mavericks somehow, some way, find a way to win and cover another game.
All right, Doug's with me on the Mavs. Chip likes the over. Again, official free pick here. Mavericks on the money line. Doug is going under 222 OKC in Minnesota. Chip is on the Houston Rockets -6. Again, these are the free picks, folks. Premium content, premium picks. Our best bets are all available at gamblersworld.net. Chip has NBA and college hoops up. Get a day pass for $69.99 if you want to buy individual. Doug, NBA and college hoops up as well, including a big game of the week. Go get a day pass as well, unless you just want the one. I don't know. I'm trying to save you. Get a 3-day pass. You're gonna get college basketball. I know what to tell you. I have a 3-pack up of college basketball myself, just the one package. So you can go get that, $39.99. There you go. Enjoy it if you want that. But multiple picks from multiple cappers, we got you covered at gamblersworld.net. Again, 25 and 27 here with the free picks. We'll get them on track. There's still months. We got March, April, May, and even some June of NBA. We'll be all right. No need to panic. But if you get the premium stuff, you see the leaderboards. We're all plus money in the NBA. You can't really go wrong with that. But for Chip, Doug, and myself, I'll see these gentlemen next week. A Friday free-for-all tomorrow. Exactly how it sounds. It'll be live at 1 o'clock. If you want to come in and you could chat live, everybody wants to leave comments, come in live and say hello. We'll be here. Guys, have a nice weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Thanks for popping in. Good luck.